YouTube! The Galaxy S23 Ultra proves that Samsung's upgrade cycle has finally matured. Now, I'm a diehard Galaxy Note user. Once a Note user, always a Note user. And since the Galaxy Note ended, there's been a void left at Samsung, if I must be honest. And until the S23 Ultra, I haven't felt that spark. It's been a while. Now, yes, there's no expandable memory along with MST and others that are missing, but with all that we have to actually deal with and what we have left, this right here is one of the best things smoking. The S23 Ultra is crushing it right now with phenomenal battery life. Finally, a well-optimized Android platform with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and One UI 5.1. The S23 Ultra is a major W. Now, no smartphone is perfect and no one will ever be, but let's get into this one, the S23 Ultra, 2 weeks later, my brutally honest review. Now, one thing I gotta talk about with this S23 Ultra is design. Man, oh man, did Samsung do good on this one. Now I know I poked the jokes that not much change in this model versus the S23 Ultra, but the mature upgrades in this mature upgrade cycle are what matters most. Now the flat edges along with the right amount of curve just equals the ideal handling experience in your hand. Now I don't like to use cases with my smartphones, although at times I might throw one on, but generally I like to use a smartphone in its natural form, and that can be quite dangerous. That's why they have so many different cases out there, because it equals peace of mind. Now, the peace of mind that I'm getting out of this design is the fact that I can grip this thing and hold it with confidence. And that means everything to me in the design department. Now, obviously, we got latest chips, quality, build, form factor, and so on. And the latter is there. But again, this design, this new flat edge design is a W from Samsung. Shout out to you, Coco. Now, I know Coco don't run the smartphone side, but I just love saying Coco. Now, let's talk display. This year, I'm doing my display differently in the sense that I'm rocking the natural mode. No more vivid for me on Samsung devices. And here's my case in point. In my previous video, I spoke about how I'm all about color accuracy when it comes to my displays. And the one thing that I know is that when you put this display on natural, you're getting far more color accuracy than the vivid experience. Although I do love the vivid experience because it just adds that extra contrast and saturation. So it just makes things pop. But if me personally, am someone who appreciates color accuracy, then there's no other way to rock this display other than natural with Quad HD turned on. If you didn't know, when you get your S23 Ultra, it's in full HD mode. It's only in 1080p. If you want the 1440p that they advertise, you have to go in the display settings and change it. So do it now. With that being said, this display is phenomenal and banging. As usual, shout out to Samsung. Y'all know what y'all doing. Come on, man, it's Samsung. Next level is performance. That's another thing you're hearing a lot of people rave about. A lot of tech reviewers, a lot of people who have this device are hype about the performance. And the best thing for me is with this new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, they actually worked alongside Samsung, and it's so obvious because in the past, it just never felt like it had this much harmony as it does this year. Now, my S22 Ultra people who may be looking and y'all feeling this enthusiasm, just relax, take it easy. Breathe, don't rush and make any crazy decisions. I've seen a lot of people coming from the S22U going to the S23U and they're happy, but that doesn't mean that you have to do that. If your finances aren't there yet, don't do it. If you don't need to do it, do not do it. It's no longer necessary to upgrade your smartphone year after year, and I said it, yes, even though I do it. Don't do what I do. Now, into platform. And there's something different about this year. Again, I'm rocking One UI all the way through. I typically, as soon as I get my devices, switch to Nova Launcher because I want more apps and so forth. And I also like the hidden folders that you can do in Nova Launcher. I don't know. In a few months, I may switch, but for right now, I'm just rocking out One UI so that way I can report to you guys what you guys are probably going to end up using, which is One UI 5.1 and whatever the updates on One UI are. So I'm giving One UI a chance. So far, it's been smooth. It's popping. I can't do as many apps as I want. And I know a lot of people say use good luck and so forth. Listen, I want what's built in to One UI to work. Like when you start using other apps, come on, y'all. This is Android. You know what happens. But respect to Good Lock because I like a lot of the options and features that Good Lock offers, but in all reality, I'm rocking all the way One UI, and in the future, it'll probably be Nova Launcher. Let's just keep it a buck. Now, for the next topic of discussion, battery life. Battery life, battery life, Omega battery life does the S23 Ultra finally have. We finally have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery that actually feels like it's 5,000 milliamps. Shout out to Samsung. They're finally in a competitive realm with other manufacturers. You guys know who I'm talking about in the battery performance sector, and that's beautiful to see. I'm so hype about it because now I can talk about a Samsung device without seeing those battery complaints in the comments section. Now, we'll see how long this lasts, but for right now, the way that it's moving is absolutely promising. Another round of applause for Samsung. What up, Coco? Now, the next topic of discussion was my one and only gripe and point of controversy. Before I get into this, listen, the cameras on the S23 Ultra are great. So as long as you don't use auto mode, I'll go outside and we can talk about this face to face on the S23 Ultra's camera, okay? Okay, so when it comes to shooting photos and videos on these cameras, I literally made a video dedicated to that specifically. I used only the Galaxy S23 Ultra's front and rear cameras to produce a full-on YouTube video. So if you want to see what these cameras can really do in different situations, from slow-mo to 8K to 4K and the whole kit and caboodle, check that video out. Now, in short, I'll tell you this. As far as auto mode, you just using a standard camera and photo app, I'm not the fan of neither of those modes. The modes that get me the most hype and that actually allow me to get the best out of these cameras are Pro Photo and Pro Video mode. Absolutely love those modes. I'm able to control my colors, my highlights, and things like that, and just get the best that we can get out of these physical cameras within their limits, basically. So if you're looking for the best look and the best bang for your buck, and you know a little something about cameras and the settings that, you know, go along with cameras and video as far as photo and so on, then you want to make those adjustments and use those modes. If you don't and you want to stick to the auto modes, then you just got to deal with whatever the auto modes give you, and that's not my favorite results. But these cameras are great. They're really good. They have huge potential. You just have to know how to use them. And in the Android world, according to a lot of these Android fans, basically telling me that all Android users know how to tweak all of these settings. So if that's the case, then that's the case. But if you don't, and you want me to teach you guys how to use Pro Video and Pro Photo mode and how to understand camera settings on the S23 Ultra, leave a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe right now and turn on the bell. So the more comments I get about that, asking me to do it, the more likely I will. But I think it's a great video and a great topic to just help people understand how to use their tech, essentially just getting the best results out of the tech that they own. This is expensive, you know, hardware. Let's use it to its fullest potential if we want to. And if you're fine with auto mode, you're fine with auto mode. And that's pretty much where I stand with the cameras. They're actually really good. They're great. They have great potential. And if you know how to use them in a pro level, then you get even better potential and results. Simple as that. All right. Oh, them band ones though? Yeah. Now, I explained it, and I also made a video dedicated to these cameras just to show what they can do, and I obviously was impressed with the quality that I got out of using these cameras in Pro mode and Pro Photo mode. Those are the only two modes that I recommend above all of the others. Don't use auto mode, and you guys know I have a real reason for saying why auto mode should be better. Everything on Android doesn't have to be, hey, you have to learn how to tweak this and tweak that. We gotta let that go, y'all. We gotta also put our foot on these Android manufacturers next to give us a more simplistic user experience as well. You don't have to be advanced to use Android, okay? End the discussion on the camera. I like the cameras. I like what they can do in Pro mode. Move on. Now let's talk user experience. The user experience on the S23 Ultra, as I said in my previous video and 1 week later, is good. Hey, listen, Samsung Knights, y'all gotta relax. Y'all always, you know, just ready to go to war. Like, calm down, kick your feet up. Are y'all just hostile 24/7? I literally said I like the design, the display, the platform, the user experience. I had my one gripe with the camera and y'all tried to hang me out to dry. Relax. Take a breather. Goodness. Now let's talk about user experience. This is what matters most. It's the collective of everything together. It's the average of all of those features in one. It's what you really get when you purchase this device. And what you really get is a user experience worth having on the S23 Ultra. S22 Ultra users, relax. You can chill. You can wait till next year, because the reality is, if this S23 Ultra is this good, imagine what the S24 Ultra should be. Again, we got to say should, because Samsung can drop the ball. Any manufacturer can drop the ball on the next upgrade. But as of right now, this is looking promising for the future of Samsung. So this user experience is ideal. It's all of those things that we loved about Samsung, but and some. We finally got some battery and some. We finally got some quality cameras and pro mode and some. We finally have an optimized experience on Android, which I can't believe I'm able to say. Listen, that's what matters. Being able to pick up this device, being able to use it, being able to enjoy it without hiccup. I've been able to grind on this thing. I've been on Twitter fingers going crazy. I've been using this a lot lately, and I can say I'm impressed. Battery life, phenomenal. It's great. It's what I'm familiar with. You guys know I don't hide anything on what I do. I have 2 SIM cards. I have 2 phones that I'm rolling around with. Please, I switched the 13 Pro Max into the S23 Ultra, and I still got my 14 Pro Max. This is how I'm rolling right now until the foldables release. So, again, I have my preference, just like you do, but I never tell anyone that their preference or what they like is bad or trash, or I never name call or do this and that. It just shows I'm much more mature than that. I actually have a realistic viewpoint to tech. I use everything and I give everything a fair shot. I love Apple computers, yet I have custom PCs. I love iPhones just as much as I love Samsung devices. So I'm even keel, I'm chilling. I understand that sometimes when I get in that brutally honest bag, it's gonna rub a few of you wrong. And you're gonna throw your shots, throw your tomatoes and all of that. It is what it is. I know what I got myself into, and I'm gonna continue to get myself into whatever I choose to. Once a Note user, always a Note user. This is the S23 Ultra. My name is CJ Knows Tech, and I'm signing out. Peace. I ain't gonna cap, the phone is good. The phone is good, Coco. The phone is good. And just on a real note, the reason why I put almost perfect in the title is because no phone is perfect, okay? Relax.